Welcome to the Red Booth. Tonight we have for you Michelle Stafford.
Hello, hello.
Hi. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I was so excited to be able to get you to come on the show. I'm like, oh my God, you're like, I look up to you so much for.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Totally.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you're like a very, you've been acting like for a long time. You've done really, really well. And, and now you have your own show, which is so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. The new show is really exciting. It's really fun to do, and it's been so well received. It's crazy. I mean, no one's ever said, at least to my face, that they don't like it.
Oh my God, no, it's hilarious.
Thank you.
I love it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I got from what I was reading about it is that, it's based on like real life events, kind of.
Well, yeah, not even kind of. It completely is.
Wow.
I mean, you can't write down what happened verbatim, of course.
Right.
I partnered with my two friends, Paige Long and Paige Dorian, who they call themselves the Pages. Their writing team, and they're pretty phenomenal. The three of us are pretty great at working a show out together. And they're amazing writers, and we're just having a fun time. So I'll just live my life, and then I'll call them and I'll say, oh God, this just happened.
Oh my God.
This is crazy, and then it will become an episode.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah.
I love comedy. It's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously the real life is sometimes even funnier than you imagined, right?
Yeah, well, all of comedy, everything that's funny, it comes from life. I mean, that's why we all laugh at it.
Well, so you were on the Young and the Restless.
Uh-huh.
And so what was that like for you?
Oh, it was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah.
I was on for 15 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
you were like one of the main characters for a long, long time. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
So there's probably about 10 that are up front, and then stories happen from them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a really fun show. I really enjoyed it. I loved working on it. I have nothing bad to say ever, ever, ever. I just felt like after 15 years, I wanted to spread my wings, right?
Yeah. I can totally imagine. I mean,
I just felt like, my 40s, I just wanted to spread my wings.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what's so cool about what you're doing is now you're doing what you want to do,
Yeah, I mean, and that was what I wanted to do, too.
Yeah.
At the time. But then it became a point where I didn't really want to do that role anymore.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I had played it out. I had done everything that I could do with that particular role. These glasses are annoying me, so I'm just going to do this.
Okay, that's fine.
with that particular role, I had done everything I could do.
Yeah.
So instead of stay and be bitter, sometimes actors can, if they do something they don't want to do, agree to do something they don't want to do, they could just turn into a bitter actor.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, just the fact that you were doing that for, you were such a big part of that show. I mean, that's really amazing. That's a lot of great experience acting. Like,
that's great.
Serious, like, also soap operas, right? I mean, they film like all the time, right?
Yeah, we don't have a hiatus. I'm not even on it anymore.
Yeah.
But they don't have a hiatus. You film, but there's time off.
Yeah.
There are weeks taken off, so it's not. But yeah, it's a lot of volume of pages, of words, of acting. It's a lot of volume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say that it's more than like a regular TV series?
Oh God, totally.
Yeah, I thought.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because you shoot an hour show a day.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot for the crew. Every soap opera is pretty much a well-oiled machine, so they have it down. But yeah, it's a lot of work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, can you tell me a little bit about when you first got your part on the show originally? Like,
what do you want to know?
Well, like, okay, so what was it like when you went in for the audition and, they were looking at you for the part, and then how did you find out you got the part?
It's kind of boring.
Oh.
I just went and auditioned, and it was recurring.
Uh-huh.
And it was such a great role, and I wore actually this red dress that still stays in my closet, because truly I think it's the red dress that got me the role. I'm not kidding you.
Wow.
I'm not kidding you. It was such a great dress. It was this scarlet red Calvin Klein dress, and it was a really sexy dress, and I viewed the character as really sexy, even though they hadn't written that. I just thought that, she kind of used that to get what she wanted.
Yeah.
And I was told that one of the producers came out after we'd all read, and he said, "I want the one in the red dress." Like, I was the only one. It just stood out. So the dress really got me the role.
Wow.
I truly believe that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, outfits totally can make a huge impression as well.
Oh, yeah. Wardrobe is a big deal for an actor.
Yeah.
A huge deal. Huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So okay. Well, then, so now you're working on your show, The Stafford Project.
Mm-hmm.
I saw recently that you've gotten 400,000 views.
Almost.
Okay.
Nearly.
That's amazing.
See, I spin it, and I'll write nearly.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
It's close to it.
It's close to. Yeah. I mean, if it was 320, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. But I think we're up at 385.
That's
at this
really
point,
amazing.
Altogether.
Wow.
Since October 7th. Since August 7th. October 7th. That'd be great. But yeah, we've gotten a lot of views. A lot of people love it. It truly is a testament to the soap opera fans. They're all watching it, all of them. It's really great, and they just continue to watch. People are just digging it. I think that it speaks to a lot of women. It speaks to a lot of women who are in their 40s, who are single moms, who are trying to get their groove on, who are like, I can't believe this is still happening to me. Like, I just thought that it would be easier. Yeah. And there was a whole sort of influx of women that I found with social media, actually, that felt this way. Like, I'd write some things on Instagram, and they would, like, this barrage of women would say, "I feel the same way. I'm single. I'm raising my kids." And I also, like, how I came to have my daughter was so unconventional, and some would say bizarre, and it was completely unconventional. I just, like, got my own sperm and had my kid, and so anyway, I mean, we just we're putting all of that into the show, and how I'm, a soap opera star, and I'm just trying to, live my life and do well.
Yeah.
And it's funny, and and of course, like we talked about earlier, it's based on actual events.
Yeah.
Every single episode is based on actual events, except really episode 7, where we really just underscored the reality show aspect of it, because we just made a reality crew is following me around.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so she's doing this reality show. She doesn't really want to do it.
Right.
But she's doing it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was one of the things that I identified with too, is I'm like, and like on your website, you're like, single girl doing her thing, kind of. Yeah. And then watching the show, I thought was really funny, because, basically you're like, you had tried to the character, on the show, you had tried to have children, and then, like, basically it goes through, like, all the awkwardness of that, and, like, the way people deal with it and stuff.
Right.
And I know some people in that situation too, and it's like, that's a special thing to be able to relate to that, like, to give something to the people who are dealing with that, because there's actually a lot of people dealing with that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I mean, it touches so many different types of people, and then hopefully we're keeping them there by it being funny.
It totally is hilarious.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I love that your comedic timing, like, just, like, okay, so I don't want to give away too much of the story, but I know there was the part where the scene where you went to the doctor, and then you're like, oh my God, like, you're all like, this is so awkward, and like,
You mean the gynecologist?
Yes.
Yeah, that actually happened to me, by the way. I mean, not when he was in between my legs did he say, "I have feelings for you." Not at that point. That's funnier, if he's, like, standing in between my legs, right? No, he actually brought me outside. It was my IVF doctor, the in vitro doctor, brought me outside. I mean, this guy had been up my vag, like, a bunch of different times. Like, he gave me, like, a few surgeries, and, like, I had spent months with him. And wait, what were his exact words? He said, they were emblazed in my mind because it was such a horrible event. I mean, he was, like, he was, like, this close to my vag.
Yeah.
Like, many, many times. I had 2 surgeries. I mean, like, everyone's in there. I mean, like, the janitor walks by, he comes in, too. I mean, you know, you're just so used to, when you have a kid or when you do IVF, you're just so used to everybody looking at your stuff.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, my God.
So... Anyway, he said, I'm starting to have feelings for you, I think is what he said to me. I'm finding myself attracted to you. Oh, I find myself attracted to you, which is worse.
That's weird.
We changed it to feelings. I have feelings for you, right? We changed
it's weird, though. Like, that's a weird thing
to say. I find
to say.
myself attracted to you. I was like, what?
The whole thing is weird.
What?
That's just not cool.
What?
Oh, my God.
I did that like 6 times.
How awkward.
What? What? It's funny.
That is so awkward.
Yeah.
You're
well,
like,
yeah. I mean, like, I was devastated. Like, and all, you know, and this is my doctor, so now I got to go find another doctor.
Oh, my God.
You know, and that's, you know.
Wow.
Anyway.
There you go. But you know what? I bet that's happened. I mean, that happens. It happens.
Yeah, well, apparently, I heard that this guy sort of, comes on to the, you know, pharmaceutical reps, and I heard that he was a little bit of a Casanova. I was like, oh, okay, well.
Wow.
Good for him.
So, I guess he has his field of choice then, you know, appropriate for what he was...
I guess so, yeah, I know. Well, he went into the right business.
Oh, my God.
Dealing with genitalia, of the female genitalia.
Good
for him, right? I mean, get what you want. Why not? Get what you want. I got no problem with it, except when they come on to me.
Oh, my God.
Then I got a problem.
That's hilarious.
I've had, oddly, a lot of doctors cross the line. And I actually...
because you're so gorgeous. But,
of course.
But still,
I'm so gorgeous.
You are so gorgeous. But they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
No,
they're doctors.
It's weird. It's really weird. And so now I have posted this thing on Instagram. Like, now I purposely go to these kind of appointments not looking good. You know?
Oh, you're like I don't even
almost like repulsive, like almost unclean.
That's
because I'm like I can't get hit on again at a breast appointment. I mean, you know, I can't someone can't be giving me a pap smear and
be like,
going,
hey,
well,
baby.
So, you know, like I'm almost repulsive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost repulsive.
Awesome. That I'm sure that helps a little.
It's my fix.
Avoid it, maybe for a little while. Okay.
Yeah. No one's coming on to me anymore.
Oh my God. Well, the story is so great. I love it. I've been recommending it to my friends, and I think it's
good.
Yeah, it's
have them watch like 15 times in one sitting.
Yeah. Watch the whole thing. Play it again.
Yeah.
No, but it's so funny. It's just so awesome.
Thank you.
And it's also about women being empowered, and I love that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's what we get to by the end of the series, right? We get to she's sort of being pushed around, and she doesn't know, which is very much an element of me too. And then at the end, she just is like, no, piss off. This is what I'm going to do.
Oh, my God.
You know.
The scene with Kelly Preston. That was so funny.
Oh, my God. She was amazing.
That was hilarious.
She was amazing. And even the way that we only had one shot for her to fall into the pool.
Yeah.
You know, we only had one.
Yeah.
And she was, I mean, even the way she fell into the pool.
She's like, oh! Yeah. But I just love it how she's like, she's just rubbing it in.
I know, she's awesome.
With a big smile.
Amazing.
It's so good.
So amazing that she agreed to do that. She's so incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So I mean, I think that your show is like gonna just keep on going. Do you have like a lot more that you're working on right now? Like, what's the future?
Well, I mean, this is what we're doing. Our first season is 10 episodes, and then after that, we're gonna start again in January, and start playing behind the scenes reels.
Okay.
And so we're gonna take 2 shows at a time.
So you've been filming behind the scenes also the whole time?
Yeah, we've been doing that.
That's great.
Yeah, and so it'll be me and the Pages talking, and then it will be all behind the scenes.
Cool.
And so that would be really cool. And people love it.
Yeah.
Like I love it.
Yeah.
You know, I love I'm like a crazy, I always get like the CD of the director talking about the shots. I mean, I'm a crazy, I love that.
Like, how did they come up with that? How did that happen?
It's so fascinating. So we have that, and that's going to be a few months. And then And then we're going to go into season 2, probably in maybe February, beginning of March, into season 2.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
So,
are you also directing it too, or who's directing?
The Pages are directing.
The Pages, okay.
Yeah, the Pages.
Are they co-directing?
Yes.
Both of them. Okay.
Yes. And they direct, and that's a tall order to be in something, to be a writer, a producer, and a director. I don't know who. I mean, I don't know who can do that.
Yeah.
That's like there was no way I could do that. And that's actually Paige Dorian does that some episodes, because she's in some episodes. She plays Paige,
right?
Michelle's best friend,
right.
and those times she's directing, she's writing, she's producing, and she's in it. I mean, she's more woman than I. She's highly competent.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny. I think you're amazing. Yeah. Really.
But it's really fun. We really like it. We're really having fun. I mean, the three of us are this trinity, and we, and we're very mean to each other sometimes, and we love each other so much, and we annoy each other. And I think I might annoy them a little more. But we have a really fun time. And Xavier Crespo is our other producer, and he keeps us all in line, and he's amazing too. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's a really good group. We have a great group.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all just came together.
Yeah, it's so perfect. It's just really, you guys are doing an awesome job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What advice do you have to other people who are maybe considering doing a series, like a YouTube show or something like that?
Oh, I think just jump in. I mean, the internet is the Wild West right now. I mean, go. I just think of someone like Jenna Marbles. Yeah. And I just think, and you. Right? You're just like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it together. I'm going to get the cameras, and I'm going to make it happen. And really, if nobody watches, then nobody watches. Then you either reconfigure, or you end off and do something else. Yeah. But I think that it's really such a special time. The internet is such a special time.
Totally.
I mean, this is the time.
Totally.
I think that Amazon is creating their own channel right now too.
Wow.
Yeah. Amazon and everybody's jumping
There's
in.
Like Hulu. I mean, all the big studios
It's great stuff. I mean, there's some of these programs are amazing. It's 15 minutes.
Yeah.
People have, I don't know the ages of 10. I have to start at 10. 10 to like 28, they don't even have a TV.
No, they're
just on their iPad.
They're on YouTube. Yeah. My kids are 12.
Yeah. They're completely on they don't watch the TV. And then people who are older, some of them don't have like network TV. They just have Netflix, and Hulu. And they get all their programming. So I knew like 10 years ago that this is where we were going to go. I mean, totally. I could see it.
Yeah.
And so again, like at the end of Young and the Restless, I was also tracking the internet and what was happening with the internet and doing my research there. And I was just like, you know what, this is
a new thing.
A wave. This is a wave. So I really wanted to get on it.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very much. I mean, I definitely agree, because I always knew that the TV business is going to start going digital. Once everything went digital, like that was kind of the key factor.
Yeah.
Because then you can go online so much faster and so much easier.
Yeah.
It makes it more accessible for everybody.
Yeah.
And then it was like internet.
Well, yeah, they made it so great. Steve Jobs, he made it so easy and idiot-proof and great. And so if it's easy and you could watch 5 things at one time, or do 5 things at one time, then why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Well, also you're a mother.
Yes.
And how old is your daughter?
Almost 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's like, what's that like, being a career? See, I want to inspire other mothers as well who maybe have, creative goals.
Right.
Like, what's that like? Like, you can, how is it working with?
It's really hard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I say marry a rich man and stay home. That's what I say. I mean, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Seriously. I think every day, why have I not found a rich man. And the only exchange is I have to give him sex, right? I mean, and be a good wife and give him sex. I can say that. This is the internet. But that's the deal. Like, I just, I think every day I do have a thought of like, where's my rich man? Yeah, I do every day. Now, of course, then I'll meet a rich man. I'll be like, oh no, thanks, you know. So it's one
because
of those
obviously
things.
That's not what you really ultimately.
Well, obviously, because I haven't found him yet, right? But yeah, it's so hard. Like I'm being on Young and the Restless. It was easier to actually. It's just kind of a 9-to-5 schedule. It was easier. And now doing what I'm doing, it's harder. It's harder. Yeah, like, you know, tomorrow they have off from school.
Right.
And we're shooting.
Right.
So it's juggling and who's free.
So you have to get a babysitter.
I have 2 different babysitters watching her tomorrow, and then she's going to come to the set, and I'm just trying to do that.
And she's 3 or 4?
Almost 4.
Yeah,
almost
so
4.
That's like quite a handful time.
Yeah,
period.
and she's really great though.
Yeah.
She knows that when we're shooting, she has to be quiet. And
Aww.
She's awesome.
She's so cute.
Thank you. She's amazing. So amazing. So understanding.
Wow.
So great. Such a great little chick. She really is. Just a really very mellow, focused, assertive, smart little chick.
Cool. So I know this is on your show, so I don't know if you want to go into it or not, but
Sure.
but your daughter is obviously she's your daughter. She's from your own eggs.
My body.
Yeah, she's from your body.
Yes.
She's
The eggs.
Yeah, so you had like basically like you had this
She's
fertilized
she's my
egg.
biological daughter.
Yeah.
And yes, and then that egg that I had, this is fascinating for all you guys, right? The egg was met with a sperm.
And you chose the sperm. So you're choosing the sperm. So you're like looking at like the different profiles or something? Is that how
Well,
it
no,
works?
not necessarily. I mean, it's funny because that's the only part that I'm not forthcoming with, like who it is.
Oh, okay.
Like I actually research both.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't want to just go, hey, dude, will you whack off in the bathroom for me? I'll take this and I'll go to the gynecologist. I researched having somebody I knew. Or
so it wasn't like they gave you a bunch of like files of like here's
I didn't like
possible candidate and
there's no they.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean you could just go to your friend and say, hey, will you
be my baby daddy?
Yeah, will you give me your sperm?
Yeah.
I guess there's no other way to say it. Give me your sperm. Can I have it, please? and so there's that.
Yeah.
And then there's also you can go to a sperm bank if you'd like.
Okay.
And then
that's what I was thinking of. The sperm bank is where they would have given.
Yeah, I mean, I think that most people think that I did that. I think most people think that. Anybody can think what they want. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I just wanted to tell Natalia who it was before I told other people who it was, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the only time when...
And she's not old enough yet for you to talk about that too, right?
Oh, can you imagine?
No.
She'd be like, okay,
Mama, what are you saying?
Yeah, right. Yeah. She'd just agree with anything, so maybe she's a great age to tell. That's what I just decided to do. That I would tell her, and then she can then tell other people who it is.
Right.
And so when anybody ever asks me, I say possibly, possibly not. They'll go, oh, so did you go to a bank? Possibly, possibly not.
Yeah.
But there are just many ways. I mean, some people completely disagree with how I went about having a child.
What?
And it doesn't matter to me. They can disagree with it.
It's kind of none of their business.
I mean, they can still disagree.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those things where I was going through adoption, and that didn't go so well for me.
I've heard that's really, really hard.
It's not... It can be hard. It was hard for me because I was a single woman. And a lot of birth mothers think, well, why do I want to give it to a single woman? I'm a single woman.
Yeah.
I just, they want their kid usually to go to a family, 2 parents, even if it's a same-sex parent. Some of my
they would
friends
prefer
who are
that
same
over
sex.
a single
Well, because
parent.
it's two parents.
Right.
Yeah, and I found that some of my same sex friends who were adopting had an easier time of it than I did. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna go try to do this on my own. I mean, how hard can this be?
Yeah.
To like do this on my own, and then I had like kind of problems here and there, blah blah blah, and then and there you go. But I was like, how hard, you know? Just ask one of my bros for his spunk.
Well, obviously, I'm sure that it was
really like, what are you doing with it anyway after? You know.
Well, I think that's awesome, and you know, you want to be a mother, and you are a mother, and that's, you know, awesome.
If adoption would have been easier for me, I would have adopted.
Totally.
And you know,
it's too bad they made it so hard for you. They should not have. They shouldn't.
You know what? After, because I also had a surrogate because I had so many problems with my body, and then I couldn't. I was so exhausted at one point. I said I got a.
From all the hormones and stuff?
Well, I had so many surgeries, and I couldn't actually honestly, I couldn't do my job and keep on trying to do that anymore. I couldn't do both of those things.
Wow.
I was doing my job and like leaving it during lunch and going to a doctor's appointment and then coming back. Yeah. And it was just starting to really cut into my job. So I had already been trying for 16 months, you know, and so...
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, well, it was like a 3.5 year deal, the whole thing altogether. So, yeah, it was just, I couldn't do it anymore. So...
Is it painful? I mean, I'm sorry if that's too personal.
Is it painful?
Yeah, I mean, the whole process that they do, is it, like, painful?
Well, yes and no. There's pain involved. Yeah. There's some pain. I love this. Is very like in depth.
You don't have to answer.
No, it's okay. There are aspects of it. I mean, emotionally, it's horrible. I mean, I was a crazy loon. I was a crazy loon because they're screwing with your hormones and your whole endocrine system is whack. Wow. So yeah, it's really hard. But I have my daughter, and it's over. You know, okay. Yeah. And since I didn't actually have physical labor, that I had a surrogate who did. Yeah. I had all my other labor beforehand. Right. And, you know, so I had at least some
you went through times. A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, well, it's really awesome and inspiring, you know. I mean, you worked it out, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, and she's already almost 4 now, so she's adorable.
Oh, thank you. She's amazing.
It's so cool.
So amazing.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It was really fun. It was really fun.
So cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching Michelle Stafford on
The Red Booth.